Hello friends, and welcome to CJoy Yoga Online Studio and Wellness Channel. I have well over 100, I think I've got like 140 videos right now on patreon.com. So if you like what I'm doing, check it out. The link is in the bio. But I got a lot of really great feedback last week when I posted a breathing technique, skull shining breath. A lot of people, it really spoke to them during this day and age and changing of seasons and global pandemic and politics and whatever's going on, right? So this is another one of my favorite breaths, which I have taught before and posted, but it was a long time ago, like, I don't know, a year and a half or something ago. So I want to go back to it. I call it the soft belly breath. I'm not the only one, of course, but it's just really making sure your belly is so soft when you breathe. We would call this anatomically, or in medical science, we call this the diaphragmatic breath. Diaphragm. I am going to break it down for a little bit. You can fast forward if you want to go right to the breath. But I think these things are important to know, right? So the diaphragm is this really strong sheath of muscle that kind of cuts your body in two, your abdomen and your thorax, right? So you have that diaphragm underneath the lungs. And when you inhale, that diaphragm moves down into the abdominal cavity in order to bring air into the lungs, right? And then it releases, and when it releases and softens, it comes back up and it pushes that air out of the lungs, expels, right? So many people get so pissed off when yoga teachers and other people are like, breathe down into your belly. I try not to use that phraseology because I don't really care for it a lot myself, because that's not what you're doing. However, be patient, be kind, because the concept is that if you are hardened, you've got six-pack abs and you're super tight, right? You want to look really thin, or you're just super tense all the time because you've got so much going on. If we compress this area, it's so unhealthy for so many reasons, our digestive organs, our reproductive organs, but one of the other main ones I want to bring up today is that it means your diaphragm can't move down to bring the full capacity of air into the lungs, and that's going to really start to wear on your health in many ways if you're not doing deep breaths. Everything from your central nervous system and being more in fight or flight and not really getting over into that rest and digest, sympathetic, parasympathetic systems, right? And also, if you're not getting oxygen into the system, oh boy, right? So all of that is to say, I really, really like this breath. I think this breath is really important, and I hope you enjoyed as much as I do and start to bring it in as a regular practice. I mean, at this point in time, I don't always lay down to exercise and find it. I do it like I could be sitting staring right into your eyes having a conversation with you and do 3 soft belly breaths, and my whole demeanor and everything in my body shifts for me. I'm going to coach it from lying down on your back. I think it's the easiest way for most of us to find it. So come on down. You know you don't have to. You can sit up with an erect spine, but you don't want compression in the front or the back body. So make sure your spine is erect wherever you are. Shoulder blades in that happy medium, that Goldilocks position, right? Arms out a little bit so your collarbone is broad and your lungs and heart have space. Now, bring your hands back onto your body. One is going to be on your belly and one is going to be on your heart, but the elbows stay grounded and the collarbone stays wide. Walk your feet a little wider than your hips and lean the knees in just so we get out of all the muscles of the hips having to hold on to keep you here. Close the eyes. And with that hand on the belly, inhale and see if you can't just really gently allow the breath to move down into the belly. I know the breath doesn't move there. You know the breath doesn't move there. The diaphragm does, but you got to displace the organ slightly. And the hand will rise towards the ceiling, right? And then when you exhale, hopefully, that hand moves back down towards the spine. So again, inhale and allow that belly to be so soft that the belly rises up towards the sky. And you can hopefully feel that with your hand. And when you exhale, that belly floats back towards the spine. Let's do one more just like that, and then we'll add a piece on. Inhale, belly rises up towards the sky or away from your spine if you're seated. And exhale, belly falls back down towards the spine. So now we're going to add on. So it starts out the same way. Inhale, let that belly hand float up away from the spine. And then let your chest hand start to float up second to that. And then when you exhale, let your chest hand float down to the spine first. And then your belly hand will start to float down. I'll repeat that again.
Inhale, your belly hand starts to float up first, and then your chest hand will start to float up towards the sky. And exhale, chest hand moves down first, and then the belly hand will move back down towards the spine. One more like that without all my jibber jabber. And then we're going to add one more thing. You can leave your hands there or bring them out to the sides now, right? It's the same exact thing. Inhale, belly hand lifts, and then the chest hand. And then pause. And exhale, chest hand will move down first, and then the belly hand. Slight pause. Inhale, belly hand lifts, and then the chest hand. Slight pause, and exhale. Chest hand moves down first, and then the belly hand. Slight pause. And do that a couple more times for yourself. So now we're working with, there are 4 parts to each cycle of breath. Inhale, slight pause, exhale, slight pause. Again, if it feels more comfortable, release the hands away from the torso. But still try to feel how the belly rises first and then the chest rises. When you inhale, that is, and then when you exhale, the chest falls and then the belly falls. And none of this should feel strained. We're not pulling our abdominals in to expel the air. We're not pushing our belly up to the sky. Everything is really, really soft and gentle. I like to think of it more of as an allowing. Right? Now, if you are feeling nice and relaxed and you want to stay here laying on the ground, you can. You don't have to come up right now. But otherwise, go ahead and roll over to your right. And push the floor away. And come back up and meet me in that seated or kneeling position. And just, take a moment and notice how you feel and what happens when you experience or explore these breaths. And, I think right away we find out whether or not there's something that speaks to us or not. If you're feeling like you're kind of anxious and then that's probably not the breath for you, right? Maybe we could work privately sometime or some such thing. But otherwise, if you're feeling like, yeah, again, you don't always have to lay down and practice it like that. You can be behind the wheel of a car and notice your shoulders are up at your ear and, still paying attention to your driving, but also just do a couple of soft belly breaths and see if things shift. Namaste.